Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to your reading for the week of December 15th. You have this high honor card that says promotion, a raise, success, award, recognition, fame, achievement. You have this judication. It says advisor, consultant, negotiation, discussion, final decision. So you could be making a decision here or getting a raise, which is nice, or some sort of success. Again, I think I said it in all the 2026 readings that I just did. There were a lot of cards of like victories or having victories in 2026. So, I don't think 2026 is necessarily easy. I do think it's a better year than 2025. And I feel we have the opportunity to create victories, but we have to create them. They're not, these are not victories that are just going to magically happen. And definitely with, with Saturn and Aries as well. Like I said, I think the important word is to create those victories and to put yourself in positions where you can have some sort of victory in your life. And if you do that, then things will go very, very well. You have good love cards here, Gemini, so that's nice. You also have the King of Wands, the Ten of Cups, and the Queen of Wands coming up in your first row for your current general energies. Could be a fire sign that you're attracting here, Gemini. I said Aries, and you have the Emperor. Could be any sign, general reading. But, King and Queen of Wands are divine counterparts. Usually a very fiery connection. Can be very good as well, so I like to see that. As always, I think you're probably going to continue to get the King of Wands for years to come, Gemini, mostly because of Uranus in your sign. And yes, Uranus is retrograde in Taurus right now, and it moves back into your sign in April, but doesn't matter. It's already been in Gemini, and I feel that you've already gotten a taste of that energy. It's going to make you very futuristic. I think it's going to make you have these very intuitive, kind of innovative ideas. And the King of Wands, he is very futuristic. He has the gift of foresight. And so we don't necessarily consider him intuitive, but he kind of is. He can kind of predict things. He can predict trends in business or work, or he can, predict future things that are going to happen before they happen. Kind of your superpower for the next many years. So I would be taking advantage of that. If there's something you see, or if there's something you notice, you are recognizing patterns, and definitely in April. But I would start now. Again, the energy exists now. So yes, I understand it's not in Gemini. I don't care. You can take advantage of this right now. So I would be paying attention to trends, or if you feel like something's going to be like popular in the future, jump on those things early, because you will be very happy that you did. And that goes for all areas of your life, not just business or work or whatever, but everywhere. You have the Ten of Cups. Again, this week has been really nice. Like everybody has had like the Ten of Cups, the Ten of Pentacles, or the Sun, really nice cards. So I do like to see that, especially after the week of the 8th, which was a little bit more challenging. This week looks really good. And the Ten of Cups is, fortune after difficulty, happy home, happy family, good things happening after a difficult period of time. So it could just be a lot of good energy coming in for you with the Ten of Cups. Could be a lot of happiness coming in here as well. So I like to see that. The Ten of Cups is also great for love. So like I said, you have the Page of Cups to the Ace of Cups to the Two of Cups. I'll show you that in a second. And that could be a very solid connection. It could even be a person that you're going to have a family with in the future. You have the Queen of Wands. Again, like I said, you're probably going to get maybe both, because the other thing that you're going to have to do is you're going to have to learn as you go. Again, if you're innovating, then you're doing things no one's ever done before. The Queen of Wands has to learn as she goes. And I definitely feel that is going to be something that Gemini is going to have to get used to. There might not be any examples, basically, for you to follow. If you're coming up with a new idea and you're the first person to do it, there's not going to be a person that you can look at and be like, oh, I can, this person did this and I can do it too. And so definitely something to think about with the Queen of Wands. But the Queen of Wands is very good. She also follows the sun, which I think is also going to be important for you here, Gemini. She has this sunflower right here, and the sunflower points towards the sun. So she basically has to follow her happiness or things that make her happy, and you have the Ten of Cups, same thing. Can't make this up. With the King of Wands, you have the Ten of Pentacles. Like I said, everybody's had either one or the other or both. So That's pretty good. Could be a good week. Ten of Pentacles is everything you want and desire in your life. If you felt slow this year, 2025, I feel you're going to feel a million times faster in 2026. It's almost like I kind of feel like 2025, maybe the universe was giving us a break because this year is a 1 year, 2026 is a 1 year, 2026 adds up to 10, which is 1. And also it's the year of the horse in the Chinese astrology. It's like there's a lot of things going on. Not only that, we start the year, January has like 10 conjunctions in the astrology, which I looked, I could not find the last time this happened where there were like 10 conjunctions, all happening. Conjunctions are the most powerful, transits in astrology. So we're starting the year in a very with powerful energy, and I would be taking advantage of it. You literally could be creating wealth with your unique ideas with the King of Wands, and it's definitely something to think about. With the Ten of Cups, you have the Five of Wands. Five of Wands can be conflict or competition. It's kind of funny. I do feel that some of you could be attracting a person that there might be competition for, or maybe you just think there's competition for this person. And I'm not saying that there isn't, but there's a big difference between a person where there is competition for the person and a person that kind of entertains the competition. So I think as long as this person isn't entertaining the competition, then what's the problem? If they're going out every night with like all these people, definitely something to pay attention to here, Gemini, although I think it looks good. With the Queen of Wands, you have the Four of Pentacles here. Yeah, you got to get off your butt, basically. Four of Pentacles, it's not really bad, but I also don't really like it as a card. He is holding on to a limiting situation, and it's not like bad. He's not necessarily suffering, but he could have more. And I feel that this reading is kind of encouraging you to go. It's like we're definitely in a time where everything about the astrology says we have to push it to the limits. And that does not mean that you should be burning yourself out, by the way. But what it means is if you want to do something, you should try your hardest to make it happen, because we have Neptune and Pisces. Neptune and Pisces is the big impossible dream. And I talk about this all the time because it's critically important. We are never going to get this chance again in our lifetimes where Neptune will be in Pisces. So, it basically says that you should be trying to accomplish your impossible dream because you might surprise yourself. And again, yes, Neptune will be leaving Pisces in January on the 26th. So that's why we should at least take a step. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to finish the impossible dream between now and then. You just have to bring it down to earth. If you bring it down to earth and you get started, then that's fine. That'll carry you through, the future. So I would get moving. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Time to Go card and this Building Blocks card. Yeah, like I said, I think this Time to Go card is kind of like my purgatory card. This girl on this card, she's like in this in-between world, and there's that doorway at the back of the card. It's kind of hard to see, but it's there. And it's time for her to like leave purgatory, basically, and it's time for her to step into her new life. The Building Blocks card I really like, especially for you, Gemini. I do think this could be a year, starting now, even though we're just in December. Again, I think this could be from now all the way through next year that you are going to be connecting a lot of dots. I think I said this to you in your 2026 reading, if I'm not mistaken. But this card always reminds me of connecting the dots. It's like you're seeing why you had to do certain things and why you had to go through certain things. It's providing you with answers. And when you can connect those dots, you can see where you're going. And so it's like, I wouldn't really say you're discovering your purpose. I think you're maybe discovering your path or, some sort of dream that you could work on. It's like all making sense now, Gemini, or it's about to. And yeah, I love that. You have the High Priestess, the Emperor, and the Page of Cups. I feel it's a very intuitive time, so you need to trust your intuition, especially anything about the future. That's like what's specifically popping into my head for you, Gemini, is that the things that you really should be paying attention to are things that you feel about your future, about the future, about whatever. Because again, I think you're going to surprise yourself with like how accurate you are at like catching trends or, seeing things that are going to be popular before they're popular. All that. And I would definitely pay attention with the High Priestess. The other thing is like I would be willing to dig a little bit deeper with the High Priestess and like do your research a little bit more. It's like I don't really know how to explain this, but I think that there are going to be opportunities that are coming up for people where it's like we have to be careful of the herd, basically, because we have Neptune going into Aries. Neptune in Aries is looking for a savior, but the problem with Neptune in Aries is people are going to be looking for a person to follow, and there's not necessarily anything wrong with that unless the person they're following is wrong. But there could be big opportunities in this for us because people are going to be a little bit blind. They're not going to do the research. So, like in work or business, it's like everybody might be going one direction because someone said so. But there might be like something over here that everybody's missing that could be a big opportunity for you. And like I said, it's hard for me to describe without knowing what you do, but I would be just turn your brain on, start looking for opportunities or start looking for what people are missing or what they're not doing, because there could be something in that for you, especially in work. You have the Emperor. Definitely could be attracting an Emperor into your life. So for those of you that want love, I would go for it. I'm telling you right now, I feel like some of you, it's like you're interested in a person that you think gets a lot of attention, but they don't. Or it's like, I feel like I said this to you before this year, like in 2025, that you're like stealing a person. I don't know what the hell that means, but it's almost like you are interested in a person, or some of you, this might only be for a few of you, and you might think that this person gets a lot of attention, but I think everybody is too scared to give this person attention. So like, it could be an attractive person or something. We call this hot guy syndrome, but it also works for women as well. It's like, hot men and women, they don't get that much attention because people are too scared, right? And so I don't know. It's popping into my head, Gemini. You might be interested in a person and really they're like alone because no one pays attention to them. And so I don't know, I would go for it, whatever. You have the Page of Cups. Page of Cups can be an admirer or like a new love person. Like I said earlier in the reading, we go up Ace of Cups to the Two of Cups. That looks amazing. Two of Cups could be a person who is different than your usual type. It could be a person that you wouldn't normally go for. Or maybe they just come from a different background or a different country or, something like that. But it's a very good card and it's coming up in the good stuff. So again, if you're interested in a person, I would go for it. Yes, with the High Priestess, you have the Ace of Wands. Out with the old, in with the new. The Ace of Wands, the castle in the background is crumbling, and it just says out with the old, in with the new. I'm telling you right now, very innovative time for you, Gemini, and I would be taking advantage of it. And many of your ideas won't work, but, the ones that do are totally going to be worth it. Just look at how many experiments I run on this channel. Like 99% of them don't work. But the 1% that do work are totally worth it, right? So, I would definitely encourage you. I'm a Gemini moon, right? I take advantage of this energy as well. And so I would definitely be doing anything you can do to innovate or move in new directions or try new things. I would do it. With the Emperor, you have the Page of Swords. You know what just popped into my head as well, Gemini, is like too much competition. You have the Five of Wands right next to it. I feel like you're saying you're not doing something outside of love, by the way. For some of you, this is like work or business related. I feel like you're not doing something because you're telling yourself too many people do it. But that might be true. But at the same time, you are you. It's like, it doesn't matter how many people are doing something. It's like someone will always rise to the top. Someone will always, it's like someone will always be there. So, like, why not you is the question that I feel like asking on this Page of Swords. It's like, why shouldn't that person be you? It's like, yeah, there might be competition, but so what? I've said to everyone that I think that we are in a time where we all need to stick out like a sore thumb, right? One of my favorite quotes of all time, I was watching an interview with the guy who created that death water. I can't remember the name of it. I'm sure some of you know what I'm talking about. I don't drink it because it says death on it, so I'm not going to drink anything that says death on it. But very interesting guy. And, he said, one of the quotes that he said is that you have to stick out like a sore thumb in a stale category. And, that is 2026 for sure, and definitely for you. It's like if you have a business, a career, if you're just trying to stand out for whatever reason, doing something to really focus on your own uniqueness is what will make you stand out. With the Page of Cups, you have the Six of Wands. Six of Wands is a victory or big success. Again, like I said, 2026 was loaded with victory, but I think there's a big difference. We're not just going to win. It's like we have to take part in the competition to win. So we have to create the victory. We have to do things that will lead to a victory. And if you do that, then you will have victories for sure. And definitely, by the way, definitely could be attracting a person that stands out. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this oracle. It says, seek wisdom and guidance from elders. You have the serendipity. It says, bright new prospects are on the horizon, clearly. So, look into the future. Trust your future vision. It's an amazing time for mentors. It's an amazing time. I've said it before that 2025 is kind of the year of the mentor. And yeah, I know we're at the end of the year, but, we still have a little bit more time. So, and I wouldn't stop learning from mentors just because, I said that. But, I would keep going. But, an amazing time to learn from smart people. You have the King of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, and the Nine of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is like wealth building. We see amazing cards for building wealth. 10 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles, this card. So whatever you're doing, I would keep doing it. I would do more. The King of Pentacles definitely needs to innovate. He is the card of convention. Sometimes he gets stuck doing things the same way over and over and over again. So as long as you're innovating, you'll be fine. And that's one way you can stand out, is to innovate faster, right? And that's kind of like the benefit of, I think, of there being competition. It's like sometimes I think people look at competition, especially in business, and they're like, oh, there's no way I can, beat the competition. But, it's like sometimes like bigger companies can't innovate as quickly. And sometimes we can innovate faster if we're more agile and faster. So, don't be afraid of innovating with that card. You have the Ace of Cups, which definitely could be a love offer coming in for you here, Gemini. I do feel it would be very good for you. I think it would be a good match. I definitely get like power couple vibes, even though we don't have the Empress yet. That could change. But, I still feel like power couple vibes here. Ace of Cups wants us to get into the flow, and everybody has had something like this for 2026. I feel like 2026 is going to be so busy that we need to have something that fulfills us. But we need to have something that we can do on purpose, right? And so we need to have like a hobby or an interest or some sort of activity that we can go and do when we are feeling burnt out that recharges our batteries. And if you don't have something, I would find it now, right? And people always say to me, I don't know what I enjoy doing. I'm like, well, go try stuff that you think you might enjoy. It's like, it's like you have to figure it out. So I would go try stuff. You have the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is kind of heaven on earth. It's about creating heaven on earth. It doesn't mean that you will have heaven on earth, but it does mean that you should be doing things to create heaven on earth. And this is basically a card of your environment. So the energy around you is what has to change so you can live a better life. And that's what I would be focusing on with the Nine of Pentacles. I would also be focusing on your focus. She has this falcon right here on her hand. And that falcon represents the fact that she is training her focus. She is learning how to focus on her focus. And focusing is going to be important as well. Also, Gemini, make sure to leave a comment. Really helps me out. With the King of Pentacles, you have the Six of Swords. Financial improvement, really. I feel like there are major financial improvements coming in for you this year. Again, I know this is a weekly reading, but I just feel intuitively that this is something you're going to be focusing on for like the foreseeable future. And yeah, it looks good. For sure. I think you're just like doing it. It's almost like you're just going through the motions, which, maybe that sounds a little bit boring, and it probably is. But, I also think that it's going to benefit you greatly. It kind of seems to me like you're, it's like the King of Pentacles is very responsible sometimes. He does the boring stuff to make sure his finances are good, like saving money, investing, whatever. And he also plays it safe, right? He's not investing in some cryptocurrency his little cousin came over and told him about, right? Bad idea. He is investing in something boring that he has researched, that has had a, 5% return for the past 30 years, like boring, right? But there's something to be said for that, And so it just seems to me like you're doing that. With the Five of Cups, you have the Temperance card. Temperance is patience, but temperance is two cups being mixed together. I kind of feel like this is talking about love. There could be a person that is coming in for you where the two of you really mix well together, And then, there's this path. This is the path to glory. I kind of do see this as like two people that are going to be on the same path. Again, that doesn't mean your lives are exactly the same, but it could mean that you have very similar ideas about like life or your goals or what you want to accomplish, which is really nice. So that's really good. It's funny that I've been saying this year that love has changed. And even last night I saw some sort of, it was like a reel on Instagram, and it was a compilation of all these divorced parents that were going on dates that were like getting back together. Like, why do you think that is? Because the energy has changed, right? The energy in love has changed. So there you go. With the Nine of Pentacles, you have the Three of Swords. Three of Swords can represent separation or sadness, but really it represents healing. Especially in this situation with the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is independence, and I feel like this is saying, forgive the past and move forward. Three of Swords is about forgiveness and removing those swords from your heart so that you can heal. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this lighthouse. It says, you're a light that can't be hidden, so don't ever try to dim it for anyone. You have this choose a path card. It says there are many paths before you, but you may only choose one. Yes, so time to pick a path. Temperance. Temperance only has one path behind them, and they have to pick that path. I also feel definitely for the next 19 years with Pluto and Aquarius, yes, I know that you're not an Aquarius, but definitely would be a good time for you to shine your light and for you to stand out. Like I said, I think that quote is perfect for you. Stick out like a sore thumb in a stale category. You have the Two of Cups, the Hermit, and the Four of Swords. Two of Cups is like a perfect match. So, like I said, definitely could be a good match. A lot of talking. You're a Gemini. I know how Gemini operates, so you're probably a motor mouth. Just like me. I'm a Gemini moon. I talk all day. Even my parents are visiting here. I haven't stopped talking, but even if they weren't here, I would be talking to myself all day long. So, again, you could be attracting a person who's also a motor mouth, which is great. Someone you can have great conversations with. But looks really good. I kind of feel like this could be something that starts with communication. But like I said, it looks good, so go for it. You have the Hermit. Everybody has to shine at this time, and nobody is. So, he has the star in his lantern, and he needs to open that lantern up and shine that star out all over the place. So, it's definitely time for you to shine here, Gemini. It is coming up in the good stuff, so you probably will be taking a little bit of a risk to do that, which is good. The reason it's a risk right now is because of Pluto and Aquarius. The biggest risk we can take with Pluto and Aquarius is speaking up and being wrong. And so, we all have to be willing to be wrong at this time. You have the Four Swords. Again, resting, relaxing, recovering. Again, I would definitely be doing something to recharge your batteries before April for sure. To me, I think next year really starts in March. This year, 2025, I didn't feel like it really started until June. So next year starts a little bit sooner, even though, yes, I understand how years work and it starts on the 1st of January, but I think the energy really gets going by March. But, what I would say here is it's going to be a busy year, and I think people need to charge their batteries. With the Two of Cups, you have the Death card. Yeah, a change in love. Like I said, definitely a big change coming in your love life. Even if this doesn't happen this week, it doesn't matter. This could be something that happens over the next year or so, where you are, experiencing this change in love. So that looks pretty good. With the Hermit, you have the Nine of Pentacles. Yes, the Nine of Pentacles, she shares in balance. She has 6 pentacles over here and 3 over here. And she is willing to give 3 pentacles to any situation that comes her way. And she always keeps enough for herself. She isn't giving everything away. And, she does that so that she doesn't burn out, right? And so I kind of feel this is talking about that a little bit. It's coming up in the good stuff, so it's good. But maybe you have learned how to give in balance, which of course is a good thing. With the Four of Swords, you have the Five of Swords. Yeah, definitely some sort of risk, or you could be taking a risk at this time. Five of Swords really wants us to put ourselves out there. Wants us to take bigger risks in the good stuff. To me, in the good stuff, the Five of Swords is about taking a risk or putting yourself out there in a bigger way. And so, yeah, that's basically what I would do there, Gemini. But let's see what's coming up for you. You have this optimism card. Yes, a lot of people have had these cards of happiness, optimism, enthusiasm for the end of the year here, which is great. I think going into 2026 in a good mood would be a good thing for everyone. And if you're not in a good mood, I would change that before you enter into the new year. You have this inheritance card. You are inheriting a lot of ideas. I'm pretty sure you've had this card, and I've said that to you before. It's like you are a download machine right now with Uranus and Gemini. And yes, I know that Uranus is not in Gemini. I understand that, but it's already been there. We've already touched tips with Uranus and Gemini. So again, it's already been there, and we already have gotten a taste of the energy. So you are downloading ideas like crazy. You have this order card. I think we need to still be careful of order. There you go. That was my mother texting me. So we need to be careful of needing things to go in a perfect order. We need to allow things to just happen, you know? And so if you try to work on anything in your life and it doesn't happen in perfect order, that's okay. You know, keep going. You have the status card. Definitely could be attracting a connection that like brings you status or improves your status or whatever. So, you know, definitely could be a very solid connection. And finally, you have this independence card. We see a lot of independence here. Nine of Pentacles twice, right? And so, you know, you could be attracting connection with two independent people, which would be good. But you also, I think, like I was saying on that Nine of Pentacles, you could be learning how to maintain your independence while still being a part of something. And, you know, I think that is a great theme for you as well, Gemini. It doesn't even want to focus, but there you go. This looks really good, Gemini. I love it. Make sure to like, leave a comment, and definitely enjoy your week.